My name is Pierre DUCRET. I'm representing Finance for Tomorrow. I'm a member of the board of this initiative of the Place de Paris.
My name is Jennifer Reynolds and I'm the CEO of Toronto Finance International.
My name is Sabine. I'm from Swiss Sustainable Finance, representing Zurich in Financial Centers for Sustainability.
My name is Davide Dalmazzo and I represent the Italian Center for Sustainable Finance based in Milan.
I'm the Assistant Secretary General of UN Environment.
I'm Lamia Mirzouki from Casablanca Finance City.
My name is Tom Theobald. I'm the Deputy CEO of Luxembourg for Finance.
I'm Kong Wei from Shanghai, Lujiazui Financial City.
Cecilia Ripinski from Stockholm Green Digital Finance.
Cooperation.
Momentum.
Capacity building.
Impact. Involvement and engagement.
Green economy, green society.
Leverage. Climate risk measurement.
The opportunity is here and now.
Acceleration.
Get up, scale up.
Greening Africa.
Breaking down barriers.
Greener world, better life.
Pushing the boundaries of green financial innovation.
So thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for showing your stamina and resilience and staying to the end. I hope that little film gives you a sense of the energy that is now gathered together in an initiative called FC4S, Financial Centers for Sustainability. This is essentially the alliance that brings together all the global initiatives like Finance for Tomorrow that are working in particular financial centers to scale up green and sustainable finance. This is a new initiative which was set up with UN Environment, actually the first meeting in Casablanca. We have members across the world from A to Z, from Astana to Zurich. In between, we have London, we have Dublin, we have Frankfurt, Shenzhen, Shanghai, Hong Kong, Luxembourg, Milan, and I'm sure I've missed some out. It's a great connection of financial centers, and we have a signal from Mayor Bloomberg, former Mayor Bloomberg from New York, that New York will also be joining and having a special initiative on sustainable finance. Why is it important that we bring together financial centers? Financial centers are where all these different factors come together: the banks, the investors, the regulators, the capital market, the pension funds, the NGOs, the universities. We have a real buzz in financial centers. We know when we're in the financial district. This buzz is what the Financial Centers for Sustainability is trying to harness and deploy to accelerate sustainable finance. I'm delighted to have with me Pierre DUCRET, who you know well as the MC for today's event, MC Duke, I think we're calling you, and also Kong Wei. Both are now the co-chairs for this initiative. And before maybe just leaving to them to say their words, I think this is a strange alliance. Financial centers do compete very strongly, and we need competition. But this alliance is based on the principle of cooperation. And particularly at the moment, there is a lot to cooperate on. So in the next few minutes, I'd like to ask both Philippe and Kong Wei to give their views on the importance of this. And we would really like to make sure that you and your institutions are involved. So maybe, Pierre, if I could start with you, perhaps from a sort of European perspective. Why do you see this financial center dimension as being so important?
I don't need it. I will talk about Europe's financial industry as a whole, that is to say, including UK and London. And it's clear that it's at the forefront of the effort to shift towards sustainable and green finance. Paris takes a great place, a great part of it. And Finance Tomorrow, as you know, is a comprehensive initiative aiming at organizing and accelerating this movement of the French financial industry, and that's Finance for Tomorrow in Paris, which is co-chairing the network. But I feel comfortable with considering this co-chair responsibility as a European one. And it's a huge responsibility given the weight of Europe in global capital markets. We have 10 European financial centers in our network, but we want to reach all 30 European financial centers. Well, European finance is definitely not perfect and not yet sustainable, but there is now in Europe a common dynamic and a growing consensus to transform our models. And the last 3 days have showcased it. And also our regulators and supervisors, as we have seen this morning, are now pushing us to accelerate the pace. And that is also the case from our retail customers, more and more. As you said, Nick, the financial centers, because they gather all types of financial actors, are a relevant level for action. And even if there is competition among them, and indeed there is a fierce competition among European financial centers, if it becomes, as it seems to be the case, a race to the green, it will be, in fact, a very efficient levy to accelerate, provided we are smart enough, and in fact it's our interest, to leave room for cooperation on some topics.
Fantastic, Pierre. So, turning to you, Kongwei, if I may. From China, we've heard a lot about China in terms of green finance emissions. Where's the role of the financial centers in China and perhaps Asia more generally?
Okay. As everybody knows that green finance and eco-friendly development now is a strategic priority in China. We even write down the eco-friendly development in our constitution. So it's very important. For China, I think everybody may know Dr. Ma Jun. He used to lead the green finance team from PBOC aspect. And we understand with his great efforts, China green bond issuance becomes from zero to hero path in 2016. And I believe following with this great development, now China becomes a broader development for the green finance. There are 5 provinces, 8 cities has been appointed as green finance pilot zones. And as Shenzhen, Shanghai, Hong Kong joined FCFOS for international development, we think that both domestic development and international development is very important for the China green finance development. In addition, as the hub of FCFOS in Asia Pacific, we are more interested to develop more financial centers in Asia into this family, including Tokyo, maybe Jakarta, maybe Mumbai. So we will strengthen the Asia development in this area and contribute more for this green development, eco-friendly, climate change, accountable development. Thank you.
Fantastic, Kongwei. That's really good. The China's green finance zones are really quite an innovation. It's worth looking at. So we're here. We're moving into 2019, Pierre. In terms of this network, where do you see it can add real value to the momentum we need behind green and climate finance?
We have many things to do. Unfortunately, we have the support of the UNEP Secretary. And as regards European Center, the help of the European Hub, led by Sustainable Nation Ireland, under the Climate Kick sponsorship, and I thank them. I would just mention two priorities. The first one is elaborating common visions and positions on crucial topics, for example, such as the famous taxonomy topic, and it has been already engaged. FC4S could become an avenue for a global convergence on this issue. But the other priority is to produce data on ourselves. It's a very important responsibility. We must compare the processes of transformation in the different financial centers. We all agree that it will be stupid to produce rankings. But we think that we have to measure and compare what we are doing, not only on the basis of publicly available data, but also from self-assessment that we are already developing.
Fantastic. So to you, Kongwei, in terms of your priorities where the financial center network can add value in the year ahead.
I think as a new network, we have a lot of things to do. But in 2019, as the first year we integrated together, we had better to have more cooperation and integration with other related alliance or initiatives. And in addition, for the cooperation, we think city angle is a very unique angle. But we also understand that there are other cities alliance such as C40, etc. We think we overlap something, but we focus on different things. We will put forward on this direction. So we have a lot of things to do, and we think if the cities bring their talent together, we can create more activities and more creative development approach for the green finance. Thank you.
Thank you, Kongwei. If I may add just a couple. So I think we've heard about the financial centers maybe helping to have this convergence on sustainable finance internationally, the question of data and assessment, how financial centers active on green finance can connect with the actions of mayors. Just two more priorities for this network, and just to give you a sense of where we're aiming. As I mentioned, Mayor Bloomberg has committed to set up a New York Sustainable Finance Working Group, a Wall Street Working Group, and that will be a key anchor for us with our existing partner in Toronto. So we want to have a real focus on North America in terms of financial centers. And then the second is Africa. We have Casablanca as a very strong member of us. We want to gain more financial centers in Africa, in West Africa, in Nairobi and Joburg, but also really bring together the expertise of our global members, such as here in Paris or Shanghai or other financial centers, who really are thinking about how to allocate capital which has a positive social and environmental impact in Africa. It's the country most vulnerable, the continent most vulnerable to climate change. It's the continent which has the least access to green finance. And that's where we think together, these 20 and more financial centers can make a real difference. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you for having this fireside chat, zero carbon fireside chat with us. And we'd like to really involve you in our work going forward. Thank you so much.